I was impressed with that move you pulled. Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's me, it's G, it's Double MD, the undefeated, undisputed YouTube champion. That's right, it's the Maverick, Mark Daniels, here with yet another tier list here, this time for Pokemon video games. So far, we've done Pokemon starters, we've done legendary Pokemon, and now we're going to look at Pokemon video games. So, of course, if you want to check out this tier list and, make one yourself, I'll put the link in the description below because it's a pre-made tier list. I did not make this one. I didn't make any of them, but there's a pre-made list here. You can see that some of these are the Japanese covers of the game. Some of them I'm not even sure what they are. There's spin-offs in here and your mainline games. So we'll do our best. Hopefully, like this, like I don't know what this one is. There was one this right here. No clue what that is, but we'll figure it out as we go along. Of course, quick disclaimer: these are just my personal opinions. These aren't facts. I'm not saying this is the only way to rank these games. Are just my personal opinions. So if you disagree with them, that's okay. And feel free to share what your list is in the comment section below, or what you would change. Of course, we have our tags here of God tier, amazing, great, okay, not so okay, and of course, Garbodor, the worst. Actually, can we change the color? I changed it to gray, but I guess it didn't carry over. Oh, that's not good. There we go. That's good. Want to make sure they're all different colors. All right. Great. See, I changed these colors before I went into the presentation mode, but I guess it didn't stick with it. Just so that this is a little bit more different. Can we do that? Green, that's good. Okay. So we're good to go. So we'll start with the first one here, which I think this is Pokemon Leaf Green, because if you go down, where's it at? Right here, this is just Pokemon Green, which is the Pokemon Blue version, but Japanese basically. Then there's Pokemon Red. So I think this is Leaf Green, and that's Fire Red right down here. So we'll go Leaf Green and Fire Red first. These are, of course, the Pokemon Red Blue remakes that were on the Game Boy Advance. And I thought they were really good. I enjoy going back to Kanto. I love the addition of the Sevi Isles. Of course, the original Pokemon for myself is, of course, has a lot of nostalgia. I grew up playing. I started with Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, so those Pokemon are, big time important factors of my life personally. I want to put them in the amazing tier. One thing I failed to mention that I've mentioned in the other two. It doesn't really matter what order, they're the same game basically. I just like Charizard more than Venusaur. God tier. One thing that drives me crazy about tier lists that I've seen other people do is they'll put so many people or whatever it is that they're making a tier list of in this God tier or in the S tier, the S plus plus tier, the SSSS tier, whatever it is they want to name it. This is the top of the crop. This is the best of the best, the cream of the crop. You don't need 500 things here. This is for the very select few elites on your list. So there ain't going to be a whole lot up here. There'll be a few. I'm just going to make that known. Pokemon Emerald. I loved Emerald more so than obviously Ruby and Sapphire. We'll do all of them at the same time here. But I think Emerald ranks higher. I mean, obviously it's got kind of the best of both worlds in the game because it is the third version. Most third versions will probably be ranked higher than their counterparts, just because of the additional features that are added to the game normally. Like for Emerald, you have the what do they call it? The Battle Frontier, which is a really cool addition. I think it goes up to amazing. I would put, honestly, I might do this, even though third gen isn't necessarily my favorite generation. These are technically a part of the third generation games, but even though they're remakes, I don't really consider them third gen. You get the idea there. But that Battle Frontier, man, was really cool. A really cool feature. Not quite God tier, but definitely in the amazing tier. I don't think Pokemon Sun and Shield are on this list. If they were, they'd be in God tier. And I know that's going to be blasphemy for some people to hear. But I loved Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'm still playing it. I have almost 400 hours on my Pokemon Sword games, so quite a bit there. Diamond and Pearl. So I love Diamond and Pearl. I love the underground feature. When they do the remakes for these games, which should be soon, could be this year or next year, I mean, for 2020, could be 2021, who knows? But I think when we get the remakes for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be very hype and exciting. I'm honestly tempted to put them in amazing tier as well. And I think I might put I'm gonna put Dialga in front of Pack because I think Dialga's better. I think I'm gonna put Platinum in God tier, our first God tier edition, because I loved the Platinum version. I've put probably about 1,000 hours or so in a Pokemon Platinum. You know, doing all kinds of stuff in the underground. You know, breeding Pokemon. You know, leveling up Pokemon. There's so much to do in these games. I'm gonna go Platinum up top. Amazing. God tier. Pokemon Heart goes, man, there's gonna be a lot of Pokemon games, and I will move some stuff around later on, like I have in the other videos. So these won't be finalized until we're done. So things will get moved around. Some things get bumped down a peg. Things get bumped up. We'll see how things go. So Heart Gold and Soul Silver again remakes this time for Pokemon Gold and Silver. Um, they're amazing too, man. They're really good. So much in these games to do. I have to put them up here. I like Ho-Oh more than Lugia. So we're gonna go that route. I would probably put this above. Yeah, we are gonna rank better, best, on the left side to least best on the rest. I think I put them over Emerald as well. I really love these remakes. So good, so good. Emerald above, yeah, this is good. I like the way this looks right now. Honestly, I might put Diamond and Pearl over Fire Red and Leaf Green. Nah. We'll do that. We'll leave it the way it is. Black and White. This is going to be controversial. I've mentioned this a many times in a lot of my videos, but Black and White are my least favorite of the mainline Pokemon games. Is Garbodor tier too harsh? Probably. But since they are my least favorite, I feel like they should be at the bottom of the barrel. Now, I do plan, before you guys, dislike the video and comment some hate or whatever, I do plan on playing Pokemon Black and White again on this channel. I'll do a regular playthrough of it. The reason why, see, my thinking is at the time that these games came out, including the sequels that came out, like I think the next year even, and I would put them above. I'd put them in the okay tier to be honest. Um, the reason I think I dislike these games so much is because the time period in which they came out for me. At this time, I'm working, I'm going to college, I have a lot going on, I have a lot on my plate, so I didn't really get to enjoy the games maybe as much as I would other games. Because I know that these are some of people's favorites. This would be in God tier in a lot of people's lists because of the story. I don't remember much about the story. I know that people like the story a lot, and there's some Pokemon it fits in that I really like, but there's also some that I just highly dislike. One that I even hate. I don't like Pidove. I don't like Unfezant. Worst Pokemon by far. Um, but yeah, they're gonna be stuck down in the Garbodor. I'm gonna go X and Y. I really enjoyed X and Y. In fact, I like them more than Diamond and Pearl. So maybe we put Diamond and Pearl down in Great, and we go X and Y up top. I don't want to have too much in the Amazing tier. Um, I really enjoyed X and Y. After, the dislike and the distaste that I had from Black and White 2, X and Y for me was a breath of fresh air. I loved the way the game looked. I thought, the way they did this game and how they handled like the amount, like the different kinds of Pokemon you can get early on in the game, the fact that you get a Kanto starter super early in the game, I thought was a great way to bring in old fans of the game, and I'm gonna put Yveltal in front of in fact, yeah, yeah, I liked X and Y. You know what? I'll go even a step further. Nah, I can't. That Battle Frontier, man. But still, love X and Y. Um, absolutely. Red, blue. I seen blue down here. I could have sworn that blue never came out in Japan. I thought it was just green and red, but maybe blue did as well. I don't know. But we're gonna do this. They go in the great tier for sure. I mean, this is what started it all. Honestly, I'm tempted to put them in the amazing tier, but I'm not going to. Because if you play the games now, it doesn't quite, especially if it's your first time playing them, it's not quite the same, as it was when you first played these games. But man, these games changed my life. Like literally, this opened up a whole new world for me. Um, I remember when I first played Pokemon. It was Pokemon Blue was the first one I ever played. Me and my friend Mario, when I was probably like 8 years old. We went to the city swimming pool and we found a Game Boy Color. I think it was maybe even a green one, like a lime green Game Boy Color with Pokemon Blue in it. Now we had been watching the anime of Pokemon, so we were into Pokemon, but I never even knew that there was a game. I had no idea. And so we brought it home with us, and we took turns playing it. Him, me, and his older brother Jarrell, and we were just sold, man. We loved this game. And then eventually I got my own copy of Red and Yellow, and man, I never looked back. And I've played every single mainline game, most of the spin-offs since then, and I still play Pokemon to this day on my YouTube channel. So obviously it had a big impact on me. So I gotta put them up at great minimum. If I'm playing this game for the first time, it's probably just in the okay. But since I've lived through these games, played through them so many times, they made so many different types of remakes of these games, they have to go in great at minimum. And they probably deserve to be in the amazing tier. But since we have the remakes in there, I think it's fair to put them in the great tier. Honestly, I have to put them ahead of Diamond and Pearl for me personally, even though I love Diamond and Pearl as well. Next, we have Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Now, I do like Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire um, a lot, but and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't actually remember if Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire has the Battle Frontier. I don't think it does. So I'm going to put it down below Emerald, but it will be ahead of regular Ruby and Sapphire. I will put it in front of Diamond and Pearl for now. Of course, the remakes could change that. A more updated game with updated features could definitely change the tide there, but for now, that's what we're going to do. Sun and Moon. I like Sun and Moon a lot. And I know that, there's mixed reactions for Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon until Sword and Shield came out probably was my favorite Pokemon game. Um, Amazing, easily. I might even bump them up into God tier. And I know that this is kind of controversial, but I really enjoy these games. And by proxy, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon are basically the same game. And for that reason, I'm honestly gonna put them. It's weird, right? That I'm gonna put these back here. I put in way more hours and more fun on Pokemon Sun and Moon than I did Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. But there are some cool features in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Shiny hunting in that game is kind of cool. Going through the different dimensions and stuff. But for me personally, even all that stuff is in Sun and Moon. I think, in fact, I'm gonna. Do I put them in Great? It's weird putting these below Sun and Moon, but the problem is I didn't play these nearly as much as I played Sun and Moon, and I felt like for like sequels to a game, if you want to call them that, kind of underwhelming and under delivered, if that makes sense. Which is why I would rate them lower than these games, because I didn't enjoy them as much as I've enjoyed these. So I think I will put them in great, and I think I'm going to put them exactly in the spot. So I know that's strange, but in order of games that I've actually played the most and have really put a lot of time and enjoyed, I'd have to put them here. I put a lot of time in my Pokemon Moon game, probably 500 plus hours minimum. I'd have to look. Just such an enjoyable experience. Did a lot of breeding, a lot of shiny hunting. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Ultra Sun Ultra Moon didn't, like I said, I was underwhelmed by the fact that they're sequels to these games, right? They should be really really good. Just never happened for me. Okay, so we have Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee, and Pikachu. Now, if you guys follow my channel, I did a playthrough of this game, and then I also did a Master Trainer quest. We battled all the Master Trainers in the game, which was a cool feature. If you don't know what the Master Trainers are, basically, for every Pokemon in Pokemon Let's Go, which is the original 151 Pokemon, they would have a Master version of the Pokemon where it was super high level, had like a bunch of EVs, high level Pokemon, high skill level Pokemon too, and you had to battle them with the same exact Pokemon. So you'd have to battle Pikachu with Pikachu, and it was kind of tough. It took us a lot of episodes. I want to say like 100 episodes or so to do the Master Trainer quest. And it was a lot of grinding, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed these games. I thought it was a great take on the Kanto region. It was kind of like a remake, but it wasn't quite like a remake. It's strange, right? Like it's a whole different game, but in the same setting. It was really cool to see familiar faces, like the gym leaders, and it was really enjoyable. Honestly, man, do I do it? I think that the Pokemon Let's Go games were done so well, and you saw so many people maybe who stepped away from Pokemon for a while, get into Pokemon Let's Go because of the the hype behind Pokemon Go, the fact that you can kind of transfer Pokemon from Go. I've seen so many people shiny hunting in the overworld. I loved these games, and I think it brought in a lot of more casual players, people who maybe have left after the first or second generation. I think they're very well done, and I am very much anticipating and expecting and very excited for a second Pokemon Let's Go game, whether it's Pokemon Goto, Pokemon Let's Goto, Pokemon Joe Go. So many different things they could do. I'm very excited for it. I'm not sure what this is. This kind of looks like Pokemon Stadium, and I'm thinking it might be because it's right next to the other Pokemon Stadium. So I'm going to treat it as Pokemon Stadium. I think it's just the Japanese version of it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go Pokemon Stadium 2, an amazing category. Loved Pokemon Stadium 2. Pokemon Stadium 1, I'm gonna put it in the okay category in the front of it. I want to bump these down, by the way, not so okay. And we'll put this in the same category because I think that's just Pokemon Stadium. I don't know what it is. Pokemon Coliseum was definitely great. So we're gonna put that in the great category. I really enjoyed Coliseum. I plan on playing Coliseum at some point on the channel, so look forward to that. Same with XD Gale of Darkness, but I would put XD Gale of Darkness a step above. Obviously, Coliseum. It's an updated game, updated Pokemon. I think in Coliseum, if I remember right, you couldn't catch wild Pokemon, but in XD Gale of Darkness you could, which was really cool. I would love for them to make another Pokemon like Coliseum type video game and on the Switch. Since we're getting Shadow Pokemon and Pokemon Go, that could be something that they mess with. I think that'd be really cool if it let in. Maybe even maybe the Pokemon Let's Go games go into the. Is it called the OR region? ORRE? I think it is. That could be kind of interesting. Pokemon Battle. Pokemon Battle Revolution. It was just a battle. Like literally, you just uploaded your Pokemon and battled, right? Like it was nothing special. I want to say that's the not so okay category, and honestly, I'd probably put it below Black 2, White 2. In fact, I might put in the Garbodor category when we get to it. We'll see. It's not a bad game. It was basically just a way to battle, people on your TV, right? So I can't say it was a terrible game, but it didn't have as many features of like Pokemon Stadium, which had all those mini games and stuff. If I remember right, I could be wrong. It's been a long time. Pokemon Rumble World. Now, there's a bunch of Rumble games, and I've played a couple of them. I'm not sure which ones I've played before. And honestly, I think they're all kind of fit in the same category of just okay. I'm not a huge fan of them. No particular order on these because I don't remember which one is which one I've played. I know there's a there's a mobile game that you can play. I know there was one on like the Wii U, which I'm assuming is this one right here because it's got the U on it. I think one was for the Nintendo Wii, but again, I'm not sure which one was which, so I don't think it really matters what order they're in. I think they were just okay. Nothing crazy, just a fun little game to kill time. I had some fun with it for a little bit, playing with another person was fun, but it got kind of, repetitive and just kind of boring after a while. Pokemon trading card game. I play this game. I actually own two copies of it. Very cool game. For the time, I would love for them to make an updated version of it. I know there's Pokemon trading card game online, but it's not quite the same as like battling NPCs, collecting badges, essentially, kind of emulating the Pokemon games in that regard. Um, not enough Pokemon cards though. If you played it today, I'm gonna put it in the OK category, above the Rumble games, behind the Stadium games. Pinball. Pinball is really not something I really got into, period. But Pokemon Pinball was a nice little spin on it. I would say that the Ruby and Sapphire Pinball ranks higher than the regular pinball game, so I'll put this. We're going to go okay on the pinball, and then we'll go okay as well, but we'll just rank them like this. Because I don't think it's not like quite on the level of not so okay. Because you can definitely play this game and have fun, right? I'm just not a big pinball guy. Mystery Dungeon games. So we're actually playing through the Blue Rescue Team right now, which is the DS version of the game, and then Red Rescue Team is the Game Boy Advance. But it's the same game. It's just one was on the Game Boy Advance, one was on the DS. Um, Amazing, absolutely amazing. In fact, no. We're gonna stick with amazing. I want to put them ahead of the red and fire red leaf green remakes. I'm gonna take a swig of some Pepsi real quick. Ah, I want to put them in front of the fire red leaf green remakes because I really enjoyed these Mystery Dungeon games. Definitely one of my favorite spin-off games. Probably, if you take in consideration all of them put together, Mystery Dungeon might be my favorite spin-off game series so far. But if they were to make another Pokemon Conquest game and more of them, it might take its spot. But we'll get to that in a minute. So then we have Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky. Maybe is Sky here? I can't tell. Is that Time? Darkness? And yeah, they're going God tier because the story in these games were so good. The twists, the turns. This story in this game is pretty good too. We just played this recently. We're still completing the Pokédex on this game. I'm doing a living dex of it because I'm a madman. We're over 100 episodes deep. But if you guys are interested, definitely check it out. Oh, no, here's Explorers of Sky. All three of them. I mean, this is essentially the third version of these two games. So there's probably, I think there's more Pokemon in there. We'll be playing these eventually on the channel. We're going to complete the Pokedex on them as well. But we have to put them all in the God tier here. So good. Then we got Mystery Dungeon. I think this is Infinity. Is that what it's called? I can't really read it. Or is it called Infinite Gates? It's something like that. Infinite something. Probably my least favorite Mystery Dungeon game to date. I want to put it in the okay category. Honestly, I want to put in the not so okay because it was kind of disappointing. And then Super Mystery Dungeon was also kind of underwhelming, but it was definitely better than Infinite. I think it's called Infinite Gates. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna put it above the trading card game. Honestly, probably overstated, but at the top of okay. I had fun playing it. We'll play it on the channel eventually as well. I forgot to go with Pokemon Yellow. Oh no, we haven't. Have we done? Yeah, we've done the old ones. Pokemon Yellow is definitely amazing. It's definitely above Red, Blue, and Green, so it belongs in the amazing category for sure. Okay, so Pokemon Ranger. Now, I haven't played through all the Pokemon Ranger games, so it's kind of unfair to rank the other two. I've played the first one. I never beat it, but I did play it. I'm gonna try to find a way to play it on the channel. I'm gonna have to use an emulator because I don't have a capture card for the DS. So basically, my plan is to emulate it, but I have to use my mouse as for the stylus because the game involves like drawing circles around Pokemon. I don't know how well that's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it out at some point. We'll see what happens. But I think they're okay. So that's where I'm gonna rank them. I don't, like I said, I haven't played through the newer ones, so I don't know if they're better. But the first one I played was very much okay. I liked it. I want to play through it again and actually beat it, but it's very much an okay game. I would definitely rank it higher than the Pokemon Rumble games. Maybe not higher than the pinball games though. Hey You Pikachu was, man, disappointing. Get in the bin. I'm sorry. As a kid, I was very disappointed. My Pokemon Snap, boom, into the God tier, baby. I love Pokemon Snap. Would love an updated version of this game. Now I know they added like a Snap feature. I think in the Pokemon Sun and Moon games. Never really used it. Don't care for it. I need an actual console game where I'm taking pictures of these Pokemon, trying to get them to trying to get a Pikachu on a surfboard, that sort of thing. Like that stuff's fun, man. And I've played through Pokemon Snap so many times. I own the game on N64. I own the game on the Wii Shop on my Wii. Like I've bought this game a couple different times. That's how much I love it. Has to go in the God tier for me. Um, Absolutely. Trozy is kind of like a Tetris-like game. I'm not a big Tetris guy, so it's gonna go in the not okay, not so okay category. It's not insulting. For those who love Tetris, it's a good, Tetris game. I mean, I don't know how you can really mess up a Tetris game. I would put it above Battle Revolution, and I think that's probably a good spot for it. Pokemon Dash, I could never really get the game to work properly. Like I've tried playing it a couple times on the DS, so I'm just gonna put it in the not so okay again. Put it above Battle Revolution, I guess. Conquest goes straight to the top. God tier game. Probably put it above Snap though, below the Mystery Dungeon Explorers game. Such a great game. We have a whole playthrough, almost 100 episodes in on the channel here. We completed the Pokédex. We recruited all the. They're not called trainers in this game. What are they called? They're called like leaders or something. But we recruited all those guys. We've recruited all the Pokemon. It was such a fun little strategy game. I hope they make a second one some point down the line. Pokemon Shuffle is a mobile game that started out on the was it on the 3DS or the DS it started out on, but it's basically it was like a mobile game there too. And it's kind of like it's a little puzzle game where you have to move Pokemon around, and it's not bad. It's not a bad game. Actually, it's not really. You don't really move them around. Like, crap, it's been a while since I played this game. But it's a little puzzle game that you have to like click and drag things with the stylus to kind of match Pokemon up, and it'll kind of knock things out. Kind of like a Tetris style game, but it's a little bit more complex. It's definitely an okay game. It's definitely better than the Trozy games because it's a little bit more to it. And you can get on your mobile game for free right now if you wanted to. We'll put Shuffle above the Ranger games for now because I've actually played Shuffle quite a bit. In fact, might even go above the pinball games. Okay, Picross. So Picross, I'm actually a huge fan of Picross type games. I have a bunch on my phone. The Pokemon one was kind of limited because there was only so many of them. You had to like collect these gems or whatever to get to the next stage, unless you bought the full copy. It was very strange. It was very strange, but I like little puzzle games like that. I'm gonna put it just Picross games themselves would probably be in the great category for me. But since this Pokemon one was kind of almost trying to force you to buy the game, I was like, they kind of give you like a demo. It's kind of scummy in a way, but I mean, hey, it's marketing. You gotta do what you gotta do. I want to put it at the bottom of okay, even under the Pokemon Rumble games. We'll put it right there. Pokepark games. I actually like these quite a bit. I have played through both of them. I've beaten both of them. It's got a lot of fun little mini games. It's kind of like it kind of reminds me in a way of Mario Party because it has like a bunch of little mini games where you have to like do like jump rope and stuff like that. Um, and then like in the second one, you actually got to do some like real time battling. It was actually kind of cool. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Was this game right? Where's it at? Pokemon Stadium. Is this game? That's not Pokemon. The fighting game. Is it Pokken? Because Pokken's not on this list. And Pokken came out before Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, did it not? I might be wrong on that. I'm not sure if that's Pokken or not. I don't know what the cover looks like. I never played Pokken, but I've seen people play, and I thought it was pretty cool. If so, I'd move it up to the great category. Let's treat this as Pokken, because I'm not sure what this is. We'll put it at the bottom of great category, because I enjoy watching people play it. I'm just not a big fighting game guy, because I'm not good at them. But okay, so Pokepark, we're gonna go great on the first one, above Pokken, just because I haven't played Pokken. And Pokepark 2, we're gonna go in the amazing category because I thought it was really good. The fact that you could real time battle was actually fun. I would love to see more from that. Maybe a little bit more content into the game itself, but I did enjoy it. Okay, Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Crystal goes up into God tier because Crystal did like the Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal games. Period are just so good, right? And there's so much to do in the game. You can go into two different regions, Johto and Kanto, which is really cool. In the Crystal game, there was just so much more into the game than than just Gold and Silver. And I think the game even looked like it just looked better, right? Like it just looked better graphically. I could be mistaken, but I remember just being so impressed with this game. I lost my original Game Boy Color that I had. I think one of my friends or someone stole it. I don't know. But my grandmother bought me a dual pack. It came with Pokemon Crystal and a Game Boy Color, and freaking played the hell out of that game. And while it might be weird to put Crystal above Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Heart Gold and Soul Silver is a game like if I'm gonna play a Generation 2 game, I'm gonna play the remake. But you got to keep in mind that Crystal just went above and beyond what Gold and Silver is, and I can't put them any lower than amazing. Like they're an amazing tier for sure, because there's just so much in these games. It introduced breeding, um, just so much stuff in these games, and they just looked great because they were on the Game Boy Color, where these games were on the regular Game Boy, not these. So, in fact, I got to put them ahead of Yellow. In fact, We gotta put them ahead of Stadium as well. And we'll put Ho-Oh in front of Lugia. But I gotta put Crystal in the Gacha because I think anyone who's played Pokemon from the beginning, like I have, can appreciate just how good Crystal was. Like it was so good. It's hard to explain. Like it's hard for me to put into words what I'm trying to say with Crystal. But for the longest time, that was like the pinnacle for me of Pokemon games. Even more so than Ruby and Sapphire, which will be ranked a little bit lower than Crystal for obvious reasons. But man, such a great game. So Ruby and Sapphire are going to be in the great category, and we'll put them ahead of Pokken because and Pokepark in that order. Yeah. I don't think this is Pokken, but I'm just using it as Pokken because I don't know what the hell else this is, to be honest with you guys. But all right, so take a look at this list here. So yeah, Ruby and Sapphire I enjoyed a lot. I don't want to just skip over them like that. I enjoyed them a lot as a kid. I completed the Pokédex. I played the hell out of both games. I like Emerald so much more than these two for obvious reasons. The Battle Frontier, and like I said, the third version just always has so much more into the game. Like it's hard to compare them to the other games and not just think that the third game is better. It's just hard to really do that because of all the extra features, and usually can get more Pokemon in the third game than you could in the other two games, etc., etc. So let's take a look at this list and see if anything needs to be moved down or moved up. So we got the Garbodor tier here, again, the bottom of the barrel. Is that too harsh for Pokemon Black and White? Probably. But for now, we're going to leave them there, and I'm going to put Zekrom in front of Restroom. Hey You Pikachu, again, was very disappointing for me as a kid. I'm actually going to put... Again, Battle Revolution is not a bad game. It is what it is. It's just not... Like... It's not something that's like, man, I got to go rush out and buy Pokemon Revolution so I can go play it. There's really nothing I could do with it now, right? Because I'm pretty sure you can only battle people online. There might be like a small story, like a small like arcade type mode. I don't really remember, but I know it's not. It wasn't quite as good as like Stadium, at least in my memory. Pokemon Dash again is on the lower end of the list because I could never really get the game to like really function. It seemed like maybe I was doing something wrong. It just wasn't like playing like you would want it to. Trozy, nothing wrong with it. It's just a nice little Tetris game. And then you got Black and White too. You know, they missed out, like, there's no Puzzle League. There's like a lot of games missing from this list. But that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. Of course, Mystery Dungeon, I think this is called Infinite Gates, was very disappointing, so I put it in the not so okay category. Okay category of Picross, I think that's... I had fun playing Picross, so we're gonna keep it in okay, but it probably should go in this category, just because it's so hard to like actually play and play the completed version of the game. All the Rumble games are in the okay category because I thought they were just okay. I've played a couple of these again. I don't remember which ones I played. I think I played I think this is the first one. I know I played that. I think I played the U version. I think the World game is the mobile game. I could be wrong though. I'm not sure what Blast is. I thought they were okay. Nothing special. Ranger games. I've played the first one. Never played the other ones. Well, and again, I thought they were just okay. Pinball games. I'm not a big pinball guy, but I have had fun playing these. Shuffle. Again, is a fun little mobile game. If you've never played it before, check it out. I mean, it's a cool game. You can collect Pokemon. Each Pokemon like has like an ability that you can trigger by positioning a certain amount of them. Like some of them do more damage if you can get 4 in a row and stuff like that. It's pretty fun. It's a fun little game. The TCG game for the Game Boy wasn't bad. Pretty good game. I've played quite it. Like I said, I own 2 copies of it. Like physically, it's over there on my little cabinet here that you can see behind me. You can see Knuckles there chilling. Um, so yeah, fun little game. Wish they would make an updated version of it. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Pokemon Stadium, loved it as a kid. Such a great game. Um, but I can't rank it above Stadium 2, which is up here in the amazing category. Maybe I should put it up a notch. Should it be in the great category? Yeah, it probably should be. Yeah, we'll put Stadium up in great. I think so. I'm using this as Pokken, and again, I never played it, but I love watching people play it. I thought Super Mystery Dungeon was okay. It just wasn't as good as the other Mystery Dungeon games. A little disappointing. I like being able to recruit Pokemon in this game. You didn't really get to do that. Like you literally went through like a friendship like little web it's kind of weird how they did it. I wasn't a huge fan, but the game itself, the story was fine. We'll play through it sometime on the channel. Pokken, again, never played it. I'm assuming I don't. Again, I don't think this is the Pokken cover, but we're just gonna use it for it. Um, Poke Park's a lot of fun. Stadium's great. Ruby and Sapphire, great games. Coliseum. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon again. I know it's weird that I'm ranking Sun and Moon higher. I just got way more enjoyment out of these games than I did these games. Quite simple. And I thought for these being sequels, it was a little disappointing. I mean, the fused like Zekrom, like I said this before in our like in the legendary tier list I did. I'm not a fan of like these fused like Pokemon for the remakes, and it's like the big difference in the game. Like it's not enough for me to be like that excited to buy a whole nother game and play it. I'm just not into that sort of deal. Diamond and Pearl, amazing games. Honestly, should probably put them ahead of these. I like the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire games, but I've put way more time in Diamond and Pearl than I did the Alpha Sapphire Omega Rubies. They're fun little remakes. The Dimension stuff where you get to battle legendaries in the like by flying on like Latios and going through like a little warp thing. That stuff was cool post game stuff, but otherwise it was just Ruby and Sapphire. You know, I mean it's a remake, but still, I just if they had a little bit more, maybe I would enjoy these games a little bit more than Diamond and Pearl. And then of course you have the OGs, man. You can't. These guys have to be at least that great. Amazing, maybe they belong there instead. But since I got the remakes there, I think it's fine keeping them in the great category. Pokebark 2 had a lot of fun playing this game. A lot of fun mini games. Again, the real time like battling that you get to do in some instances with Pikachu is pretty cool. Yellow, I mean, it was when you play red, blue, and I guess green. It was like, man, it would be so cool if I could have all three starter Pokemon. Well, you get to do that in this game. Plus, you have Pikachu following you. It's pretty cool. Like it's a fun game. Even to this day, I think you could put in Pokemon Yellow and have a good old time. Stadium 2 is legendary. Such a great game. You can, like same with Pokemon Stadium 1. You can like rent Pokemon, battle like any Pokemon you want to. That's second gen. You can upload like you could transfer Pokemon to Pokemon Stadium 2 and play with them if you wanted to. It's a lot of fun mini games like the Mr. Mime, like kind of like it's kind of like Pong, but you play with like four people. It's kind of fun. Like there's a lot of fun little mini games on Stadium 2. Silver and Gold, man, I've put so many hours in the Gold, Silver, and Crystal. So great, man, so great. XD Gale of Darkness, amazing game. Fire Red Leaf Green, great. Blue Rescue Team, Red Rescue Team, both basically the same game. Well, it's always weird putting these games because like it looks like there's a lot of games here, but a lot of them are the same game. Like these three are the same game. There's just different covers, but both just amazing. Again, like I mentioned before, we're playing through Blue Rescue Team right now on the channel. Um, we're over 100 episodes deep because we're making a living Pokédex because I'm an absolute madman. But we're having fun doing X and Y. Amazing. All these are great. I think the list looks fine, guys. I'm not gonna go through each game again, but hold on. Is Platinum my favorite game? No, I would go Sword and Shield, Mystery Dungeon, Platinum, Conquest. Yeah, I'm liking this a little bit better. Snap, Crystal, and then the Let's Go games. And I thought the Let's Go games definitely deserve to be in the God tier list. Really put a lot of time into those games. A lot of shiny hunting. I have a lot of shiny Pokemon over there that eventually I'll put on Pokemon Home and hopefully be able to transfer over to Pokemon Sword and Shield. And yeah, anyways, guys, that's my tier list. If you guys agree with it, disagree with it, let me know in the comment section below. And again, I put a link to this tier list in the description below if you're interested in making your own tier list. Hey, you want to go on Twitter and follow me and send me a picture of your tier list and want me to say, hey, that's a cool list, whatever, just want me to see it, feel free to. These tier lists are a lot of fun to do. There's a bunch more that I want to do. So like I said, so far we've done starters, legendaries, now we've done the actual games themselves. We could do individual types of Pokemon. Like, there's so much you can do on these tier listings. We're going to do a bunch of them. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I am the Maverick Mark Daniels, being your feral peace and one love. Bye!